जय कुंज बिहारी जय
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवर हारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरोधारी
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
जमुनातीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी
जय राधमाधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल। श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। So we all will do Mangala Charan. Welcome everyone. Advaita Hari Prabhu, Ramchandra Priya Prabhu. After a long time, Prabhu is very busy.
Hari Bol Prabhu.
Hari Bol Prabhu. So welcome Prabhu. I know you are very busy as well, but still you make it today. Thank you for that.
Hari Bol Prabhu.
Welcome Rita. So we'll do the Mangala Charan. Everyone can unmute and we can do Mangala Charan together. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Sri Juta Padakamadam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathar Nitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Punijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakarnitangsya Namo Yum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pacharvatarini Panchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavonebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So we are in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, and title of this chapter, A Confidential Region for Lord's Appearance. Which number verses we're going to be started, Rachana Mata?
160, Prabhuji.
160, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we hear about a two region, very confidential region of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Now we're going to be here about the third region. Ottantuni guroye roshe roshiddhanto Sharupa Goshai matro janinoya kanto. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, translation please.
Sure, Prabhu. This conclusion of rasa is extremely deep. Only Swarup Damodar knows much about it.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning about this confidential pastimes. Only Sharup Damodar knows. Why? Because Sharup Damodar was stay with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always. There is one very nice books. The book's called Nilachale Braja Madhuri. I will connect with that books, not now, little later on. Little later meanings is when we'll almost end of Madhya end of Adi Leela, then I will connect that books. It is a very beautiful books. So Nilachale Braja Madhuri is ultimately, Nilachal is a Osharya Dham, is Jagannath Puri Dham. But on that Osharya Dham, how Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always stay in Vrindavan. The glory of Vrindavan, you always hear from Rai Ramananda and Sharup Damodar. And Sharup Damodar was stay with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a maximum time. Sharup Damodar, who Mahaprabhu, we read before that Mahaprabhu, whenever Mahaprabhu's different bhavas come, shall read that bhava. Sharup Damodar quoted the verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam and start reciting those verses to give happiness to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sharup Damodar knows the mood of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus is mentioning that only Sharup Damodar know much about it. যেবা কেহ অন্য জানে সেহ তাহা হইতে চৈতন্য গোসাইয়ের দেহ অত্যন্ত মর্ম যাতে যেবা কেহ অন্য জানে সেহ তাহা হইতে চৈতন্য গোসাইয়ের দেহ অত্যন্ত মর্ম যাতে Divyanand Prabhu, translation please.
Sure, Prabhuji. Anyone else who claims to know it must have been heard. Anyone else who claims to know it must have heard it from him, for he was the most intimate companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So ultimately, that's many devotee might be know about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's that tattva, but they don't know directly. They got those tattva from Sharup Damodar, no one else. গোপীগণের প্রেমের অরুর ভাবনাম বিশুদ্ধ নির্মল প্রেম কবু নহে কাম Ishwari Mata, could you read the translation, please?
Sure, Prabhu. Translation by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The love of the gopis is called Rudha Bhava. It is pure and spotless. It is not at any time lust. Purport also, Prabhu?
Yeah, small purport, please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As already explained, the position of the gopis in their loving dealings with Krishna is transcendental. Their emotion is called Rudha Bhava. Although it is apparently like mundane sex, one should not confuse it with mundane sexual love, for it is pure and unadulterated love of Godhead. Jai.
Yeah, thank you. So we hear about the gopis and gopis love before also. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, again, he was mentioning here too, that, the love of the gopis, there is no lust. There is no lust desire. It's a Rura Bhavaha. Rura Bhavas is always like spotless, unconditional. There is no conditions. It's unconditional love. So that things is like, as when we hear about who are the gopis are, we hear about the Srimati Radharani are everything, So when the Srimati Radharani is Krishna himself, and when Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from him, ultimately the gopis also came. If we calculate from the bottom, it's come from there, So over here, it's having a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhus quote one very nice verses. Premoiva gopa ramanam kama ityagamat prathama itva dvabadayah apratum vanchati bhagavat priyah. Translation, Rachana Mata, translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. The pure love of the gopis has become celebrated by the name lust. The dear devotees of the Lord headed by Sri Uddhav, desire to taste that love. This is the verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Right. So over here is like, these verses from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu are quoting Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The reason is, if it is a lust, then Uddhava, Adi, there is more, the devotees was like a purest devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. They want to get that love. So that love is completely different from the lust. And more are giving more details. We will hear more. Kam prem dohakar bibhinna lakshan loho ar hem joise swarupe bilakshan. Advaita Hari Prabhu, could you read the translation, please?
Okay. Lust, lust and love have different characteristics, just as iron and gold have different natures.
And a small purport also.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should try to discriminate between sexual love and pure love, for they belong to different categories, with a gulf of difference between them. They are as different from one another as iron is from gold.
Thank you. Thank you. So over here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami giving very little bit of discriminations about the difference between love, means the prema, and kama. So kama is a lust, prema is a love. And the prema, the gopis have the prema, is a love, not a kama. Kam, as compared, is like a iron, and prem is compared as a gold. Hema is a gold. And now are mentioning what is actually the definitions of kam and prem. These verses normally, we put it many classes. We put it always is many classes. Atmindriyo pritibancha tare bole kam, Krishnendriyo pritibancha dhore premo nam. Atmindriyo pritibancha tare bole kam, Krishnendriyo pritibancha dhore premo nam. Beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. Rita, could you please read the translation?
Yes, Prabhu. The translation: the desire to gratify one's own senses is calm, lust, but the desire to please the senses of Lord Krishna is prem, love.
Thank you. And Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, the purport, please.
Sure, Prabhu. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay.
The revealed scriptures describe pure love as follows. Sarvatha dvamsa rahitam satyam api dvamsa karane yat bhava bandhanam yuno sa prema parikirtita. If there is ample reason for the dissolution of a conjugal relationship, and yet such a dissolution does not take place, such a relationship of intimate love is called pure. The predominated gopis were bound to Krishna in such pure love. For them, there was no question of sexual love based on sense gratification. Their only engagement in life was to see Krishna happy in all respects, regardless of their own personal interests. They dedicated their souls only for the satisfaction of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. There was not the slightest tinge of sexual love between the gopis and Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Continue, Prabhu.
Okay, sure, Prabhu. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita asserts with authority that sexual love is a matter of personal sense enjoyment. All the regulative principles in the Vedas pertaining to desires for popularity, fatherhood, wealth, and so on are different phases of sense gratification. Acts of sense gratification may be performed under the cover of public welfare, nationalism, religion, altruism, ethical codes, biblical codes, health directives, punitive actions, bashfulness, tolerance, personal comfort, liberation from material bondage, progress, family affection, or fear of social ostracism or legal punishment, but all these categories are different subdivisions of one's substance self-gratification. All such good acts are performed basically for one's own sense gratification, for no one can sacrifice his personal interest while discharging this much advertised moral and religious principles. But above all this is a transcendental stage in which one feels himself to be only an eternal servitor of Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead. All acts performed in this sense of servitude are called pure love of God because they are performed for the absolute sense gratification of Sri Krishna. However, any act performed for the purpose of enjoying its fruits or results is an act of sense gratification. Such actions are visible sometimes in gross and sometimes in subtle forms.
Jai. So Srila Prabhupada gave elaborately descriptions. I don't think it's like we really need is like more details about it. So we got the idea what is called the kama and what is called the prema. Shri Mata, what did you got from Srila Prabhupada's purport about the definition? If I ask you, use two words about the kama and one word about the prema.
Prabhu, as per my understanding, I think it's written that the love that is for sense gratification, that is kama. And the love that you have for Krishna's pleasure is prema. When you try to satisfy Krishna's, pleasure, then that is love. Prema, pure prema.
Okay. Rachana Mata, is the only the lust is a kama? Beside the lust, there is anything else are called as a kama? Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport.
Somehow, Prabhuji, my attention got focused on the definition of the love. So I think I missed that kama because I never heard the definition of love, but this purport has the definition of love. So I was thinking about that. I think then I missed that other form of kama. Prabhuji, the kama for the society progress, is that the kama work for the society? That's the one, work for the people, work for the people, work for the society, and work for the nation, work for Bible, work for other religious purpose is calm.
Right. That's also the another words. It's called kama. So kama is not only the lust, there is other things also as called the kama, because that's also we are doing for, it's called Atmendriya. We are doing for this body. So ultimately getting the enjoyment by this body, getting the punya karmas. I'm getting happy. I'm doing some, other work, running for my name, fame. Oh, see that personalities, how much charity that persons are doing it, So many things is like that. It's come like that. So that's also, as mentioning here, the Srila Prabhupada's mentioned, this is also called kama. Thank you.
Prabhupada is so truthful because
Yeah.
recently I was hearing, people who say that we are environmentalist, we are doing sustainable farming, and they are the one who are fooling whole world and accumulating wealth. So, so yes, they are karmis then.
True. Yeah. Thank you. And Divanand Prabhu. Beside that also, there is one more thing Srila Prabhupada mentioned about the kama. What is that?
Service. Sense
About
of
karma, Prabhu?
Mhm.
प्रभु जी वो क्या आत्मा का सुख भौतिक बंधन से मोक्ष ये भी कामा है, which we think it's a spiritual thing.
Just check in the fourth line of the last paragraph, meaning from the bottom to top of the last is mentioning.
Any act performed for the purpose of enjoying its fruits or results
Right.
is an act of sense gratification.
Right.
Yeah, sense gratification.
Sense gratification.
So any act you perform for the purpose of enjoyment, its fruits. So that's what we call the punya karmas. Right? Punya karmas is the fruitive activities normally we do. And by doing that fruitive activities, we got happy. So happy also is called the enjoyment, because the happy, we should not get happy. We should give happy to Krishna. Right? We make Krishna happy. So you have to serve Krishna, and that's why that serving, making Krishna happy, that's called as prema. So Rita, did you got a little bit of clear idea about the kama and prema?
Yes, Prabhu. But we serve Krishna, but what about when we try to happy our family member or doing something for them?
Very good. So when we serve to Krishna, as follower of Krishna, we are serving to our family member to make Krishna happy actually. Because the Krishna, we keep the Krishna as a center of the, he's the primary person in our house. And every single personalities, they are the members of that house. So as the members of that house, what happened? When you serve to those members, but keeping Krishna on center, so that's also is ultimately you are not enjoying for yourself, you are keeping happy for Krishna, you're serving them.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can I add something here?
Yes, please.
Because same question even I asked almost like 8 years back. The answer what I received was, the person told me everybody is serving Krishna, but because of ignorance, our family members, we forget that we are dasa anudasa of Krishna. Basically, all are dasas of Krishna, and Krishna get happy and he receives your offering immediately by two ways, it seems. One, if you offer food to cow, and second is if you serve Krishna's servants. So all family members are also Krishna's servant, but they don't know. So in that bhava, we need to serve, it seems, our family member. So we are serving Krishna's servant.
Right. Okay. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, you want to add anything?
No, Prabhu, you said everything. I can remember that there are three categories of people. Like one is Karmi, Gyani, and the Bhaktas. Yeah, so Karmi and Gyanis and Yogis also. Like Karmi, they are want to grossly enjoy their senses. They do pious activities to get elevated to the heavenly planets. And Gyanis, they want to merge into the impersonal effulgence of the Supreme Lord. So Gyanis, they wanted to grossly enjoy their Karmis, they want to grossly enjoy their material senses. Gyanis, they want to do that in a subtle way. They want to merge into the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. So that is also one kind of sense enjoyment only. And yogis, they wanted to get some siddhis, so to show magic to the people, ashta siddhis, lagim, karima, all those. So they wanted to also want to acquire like fame, adoration, like that. So they are also in one kind wanted to enjoy senses. So these three people, they are like sense gratifier. So like that. Even we also as a devotee, if we try, like instead of trying to satisfy senses of Krishna, instead of trying to satisfy senses of Krishna, but we have ulterior motive of becoming happy by doing that. So that is also one kind of sense gratification. If we want to stay with Krishna, or we wanted to go like that, other muktis, those are there. So pure devotees, they don't aspire for anything for themselves. They only want to see that how Krishna is becoming happy. So that is the goal. So other than that, if we have any other goal, that is sense gratification. So that's what Prabhu I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So let's go for our next verse. কামেরও তাৎপর্য নিজ সম্ভোগ কেবল কৃষ্ণ সুখ তাৎপর্য মাত্র প্রেম তো প্রবল. Translation. Divanand Prabhu, translation, please.
No, Prabhuji. The object of lust is only the enjoyment of one's own senses. But love caters to the enjoyment of Lord Krishna, and thus it is very powerful.
So we got the details. The lust is the enjoyment of own senses, but more stronger than the lust is prema, more stronger. So that's is mentioning a more stronger, probal, ottanto probal. So that's we have to understood about the power of the prem.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata.
Prabhuji, quick question on that. Clarification on the verse 165. The first paragraph, Prabhu, it's not clear to me. Like if the conjugal love or relationship is there, And still, if it doesn't get dissolved, then that is pure love. What does that mean, Prabhu?
Ramchandra Prabhu, could you give the explanation, please?
Let me read that sentence once again, Prabhu. Try to. If there is ample reason for the dissolution of a conjugal relationship, and yet such a dissolution does not take place, such a relationship of intimate love is called pure.
So conjugal.
So-
No.
Okay.
It's
So
not.
conjugal is Radha Krishna's love, right? Pure love, Radha. Or we're talking about gopis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gopi's love for Lord Krishna is a conjugal relationship.
Okay. Then
Like when Prabhu, you can correct me, Balaram
You go
Prabhu.
ahead.
Yeah, so here we are seeing like gopis, they used to love Krishna so much that even when Krishna is not there, or he would have superficially, it would have been seen like Krishna has left them and went somewhere. So still they have not stopped loving him. So like he went to Mathura, yeah. So though gopis used to love Krishna so much dearly, but it looked superficially like Krishna ditched them and went to Mathura. So still gopis used to love Krishna wherever they will see, like if they see Tamal tree, they will remember Krishna. If they see like Brahmar, they will remember Krishna. So in their consciousness, they have never given up Krishna. Like even though it outwardly seemed like Krishna left gopis and went to Mathura. So that kind of conjugal relationship it is here talked about, like even though it seems like dissolved or something like that, but still the love is still there, that deep love for Krishna. So that's what I understand, Prabhu, like that is called pure love for Krishna. Even though Krishna left or in separation, this gopis still they are not separated, like a pure due to the pure their loving affection for Krishna.
Is it clear, Mata?
yes, Prabhu.
So is another things is over here is mentioning in a other way, is if we simplify, even more simplify, is mentioning there is a husband and wife. The husband and wife, some position came to, is like almost the relationship will be ending, completely ending. The situation come on that, completely ending. But on that situation also, they're connect together, each other. And what happened? Because they are not, both husband and wife are not both actually attract by their body. They attract by their heart. And that's it, that situation came. But that things, even they try to get separated, but because the both hurts are becoming one. And that's why that hurt could not be separated. So that will be stay forever. So that's called the prem.
That is what I got attracted, Prabhuji, here, because I have seen many couples. I have seen them fighting forever throughout their married life, but they never get separated. So now I am understanding it's a Shuddha Prem.
Right.
So I never heard of this definition of Prem before. It's so beautiful. And I have seen couples who always fight.
So
So
in
they are really, they are in Shuddha Prem. those who doesn't fight for us.
So true
can-
love
we can-
is
we
when
can say-
soul get connected, right, Prabhu?
Huh?
True love is when soul gets connected.
Right.
Two
True
souls.
love is when soul got connected. That's 100% true. Yeah. It's not a bodily connection. Soul got connection, then that the true loves ultimately come. You can see there is many times, many people, you can see there is a husband are taking care of the wife and wife are taking care of the husband is like couple of decades. Husband might be in the beds and wife in the beds. You know, but they're taking care of it. So this is just like, you know, because of taking care of it is the connecting with the soul. So many places when you when Srila Prabhupada write in English, so you have to use the word what is ultimately Western people could understood easily. But if you read in Hindi or if you read in any other our local languages, then you will get the purports, the, you know, according to that society, that culture, what particular word they mention. So then we understood even more. So I'm reading here in English and I open in my Bengali purport. So with Bengali purports are mentioning here in Bengali, ধ্বংসের কারণ উদিত হলেও দম্পতি দ্বয়ের যে সুদৃঢ় ভাববন্ধন কোনো প্রকারেই ধ্বংস হয় না, তাকে বলা হয় প্রেম। ধ্বংসের কারণ উদিত হলো, you know, when that time is come, is like it's going to be completely separated, it will destroy everything. Dampatti doy, dampatti means a husband and wife. Husband and wife is called dampatti. So because of their soul boundaries, that's never got spoiled, that never got destroyed, and that situation name is prem. So that's the thing. So I think it's like you got a little bit of clear idea. It will become even more. You know, when we're going to be read more and more, then it will going to be deep about the body, about the other things. You know, it will be just coming in the next verse. So next is a 167 to 169 verses together. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, if you could read this verse.
Sure, Prabhu. লোক ধর্ম, বেদ ধর্ম, দেহ ধর্ম কর্ম, লজ্জা ধৈর্য দেহ সুখ, আত্মসুখ মর্ম, দুস্ত্রেজ্য আর্য পথ, নিজ পরিজন, স্বজনে করে যত তাড়ন ভর্ষণ, সর্বত্যাগ করি করে কৃষ্ণের ভজন, কৃষ্ণ সুখ হেতু করে প্রেম সেবন।
Thank you. Beautiful.
This
This is a beautiful verse, you know. If you know the Bengalis, then the meanings will just is like popped up in your mind. You know, when you are reading that, so automatically you're going to be like you are drinking the nectars, isn't it? Translation, Advaita Hari Prabhu, could you please read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. So this is 167 to 169.
Right.
Okay. Social customs, scriptural injunctions, bodily demands, fruitive action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasures, self-gratification, and the path of Varnashrama Dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all these, as well as their own relatives and their punishment and scolding, for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment.
So you got it. There is a beautiful verse in Gopi Geet. Prabhu, did you remember? The gopis are you know praying to Krishna. What we left? Anybody remember? Ramchandra Priya Prabhu obviously remember. Anybody else? In Gopi Geet, one of the beautiful verse, my favorite.
Did we cover last class, Prabhu?
No. This is we're just you know thinking that if you know the Gopi Geet, what the gopis are praying to Krishna. So this is the things, what's Gopi did. They left their, relatives, even said, they left their bhautik body, meaning the material body is there. But their soul left from that body. It's a beautiful verse. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu?
Prabhu, I don't remember, Prabhu.
You might be remember when I will say the first word. Patishutam.
Yeah, no, Prabhu.
Patishutam vayam bhatribandhavan. Patishutan vayam bhatribandhavan. Pati. Oh Krishna, we came here in this dark night. We left our husband in home. Not only that, Shutaha, our children in home. Not only that, Bhatri, our brother, Bandhavan, our all relative. We left everyone and we left our Bayam, our body there. But we can't stay on that body. We came here and now suddenly you just, disappear from here. We can't even see you. We can't even fulfill the desire of our eyes. Oh Krishna, please give us a darshan and save us. So that's also is one of the definitions I'm mentioning, a prem. Which one Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, he just mentioned on before that, there is no bodily affections are there on the prem. So this is a pure love. It's not a love with a lust. This is a love is pure. So now what is the ultimately, what's mentioned on this kind of love? That's Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami are mentioning verse 170. Rita, can you read this verse 170?
Yes, Prabhu. ইহাকে কহিয়ে কৃষ্ণ ধীর অনুরাগ স্বচ্ছ ধৌত বস্ত্রে জইছে নাহি কোনো দাগ.
Thank you. Rachana Mata, could you read the translation, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, 170, right? Purport?
Yeah. Translation.
Oh, translation. Okay. Oh, एक सेकंड प्रभु जी, मैं वो इंग्लिश निकाल रही हूँ. One 170. वो मेरा लैपटॉप का इंटरनेट बंद हो गया.
Okay.
फोन निकाल रही हूँ. ये बच्चों के कारण इंटरनेट बंद चालू करना पड़ता है आप लोगों को. Okay. This is called firm attachment to Lord Krishna. It is spotlessly pure, like a clean cloth that has no stain.
Purport also.
Purport. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita advises everyone to give up all engagements of sense gratification and, like the gopis, devote oneself entirely with the will of the Supreme Lord. That is the ultimate instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. We should be prepared to do anything and everything to please the Lord, even at the risk of violating the Vedic principles or ethical laws. That is the standard of love of Godhead. Such activities in pure love of Godhead are as spotless as white linen that has been completely washed. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur warns us in this connection that we should not mistakenly think that the idea of giving up everything implies the renunciation of duties necessary in relation to body and mind. Even such duties are not sense gratification if they are undertaken in a spirit of service to Krishna.
Okay, so we just discussed about this a little bit of before, right?
Yes, Prabhu. My question answer Prabhupada gave here.
See, Prabhupada gave everything. Every question's answer Prabhupada already provided. We need to read and we will need to get it. So we know there is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say that Shubhro Bastre. Prabhu, এই শ্লোকটা আপনার মনে আছে কি রামচন্দ্র প্রিয় প্রভু? I was just forgetting that verse. The second line is Shannashir Alpo Sidro Sarvaloke Gaye.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the second line. The first line is Shubhro Bastre. Then there is two words. That word I forgot. So ultimately, it's like in white cloth. If there is a one dot of ink, one spot of ink or on the white cloth, so people ultimately, even the cloth is 10 meters long or 4 meters long, a whole cloth are complete pure white, but they didn't see that, excuse me, whole cloth. Their eyes go directly where is the spot are. As mentioning, you have a plate of rice, and there is might be a couple of 100 rice seeds are there. But on that 100 rice seed, there is a 2 or 3 black rice are there. So beside that, hundreds of rice seed, that 2 or 3 rice seed will just stuck on your eyes always until you take them out from there and throw away, and your eyes will got pure. Okay, now no difference, no disturbance. There is no black. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always said, Sannashir Alpo Sidro Sarvaloke Gaye. Means that the Sannyasi, if they do a little bit of mistake, then everyone will going to talk about that. And why he said that? Because he said the Sannyasi will eat very little. And you guys are just sitting me in front of me like a guru and you are feeding me a lot. You guys want me a bhogi, not a Sannyasi? So that's the thing, sir. As mentioning, that's called the prema. That prema is, there is no spot on that cloth. So gopis, they are with there, but they don't have any kind of spot on their heart. It's clean, crystal clean. And yes, obviously, God, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, we should not, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mentioned, we should not run from my responsibilities. Because we have to be, take care of our family members as they are part and parcels of Lord Krishna. So that's we have to be remember always. Ramchandra Prabhu, you want to add anything here?
No, that's correct, Prabhu. You said we should not give up our responsibility in the name of we wanted to follow devotional activity. We don't want to do material, no. But we have to dovetail our activities so that it is towards serving Krishna. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We should not stop eating, but we should take prasad, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes. That's Prabhupada said, the devotees, they don't do any sense gratifications. They have only a enjoyment that give happiness to Krishna. What is that? Mahaprasad.
Pressure.
That's why I said, eat Mahaprasad until
Yeah, no
your
problem.
neck.
Yeah.
If you open your mouth, they can see from outside how much you eat.
That's
Okay. অতএব কাম প্রেমে বহুত অন্তর কামন্ধ তম প্রেম নির্মল ভাস্কর অতএব কাম প্রেমে বহুত অন্তর কাম অন্ধ প্রেম প্রেম নির্মল কাম অন্ধ তমঃ প্রেম নির্মল ভাস্কর Kishori Mata, translation please.
Sure, Prabhu. Translation 171. Therefore, lust and love are quite different. Lust is like dense darkness, but love is like the bright sun.
So we got the complete difference. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami give all details, there is no confusion. When we read alone, we would not get, take out the point from there. We would be confused. Our head will be stuck and going to be thinking, hey, wait a minute, what is this? What is this? But he gave every single point crystal clear, so then we can understand very nicely. Isn't it? অতএব গোপীগণের নাহি কামগন্ধ কৃষ্ণ সুখ লাগি মাত্র কৃষ্ণ সে সম্বন্ধ Divanand Prabhu, translation please.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thus, there is not the slightest taint of lust in the gopis' love. Their relationship with Krishna is only for the sake of his enjoyment.
Okay, so we got it. That's why all proofs we got it about the gopis, and there is no doubt about it. So next verse from Gopi Geet, and this is actually all the gopis. They are singing, they are just praying together. Jatte shujata charnamboruham staneshu Bhetva hasanaihi priya dadhimahi karkasheshu Trenatabi mato shetadya tathena kimshet Urpadirvir bhamativir bhavatayu shamanaham. So this is actually the last verse of Gopi Geet. Jatte shujata chabanam stanesho. Yeah, this is the last verse of Gopi Geet. Ramchandra Prabhu, translation please.
sure, Prabhu. Oh, dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This text from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.31.19 was spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them in the midst of the Rasa Leela.
Think, so they are thinking about their self, they are thinking about their self-enjoyment. No, they are thinking about Krishna. That this rock, a small nail, it will be hurt to Krishna's lotus feet. That's why they're saying, oh Lord Krishna, we can't tolerate that pain of your lotus feet. That's the devotee's mood. In Chaitanya Leela, there is a one brahmachari who make for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Mahaprabhu going to be walked down, and there is a lot of rock, there is a lot of nails, he will get hurt. Let me make some nice path. Rachana Mata, do you know that devotee's name?
For Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhuji?
Yeah, who made path for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
No, Prabhuji. But I remember from Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad ji's mother, she was cleaning the path for the rishis with the same intention that they should not get hurt.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not sure about who did for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay. Advaita Hari Prabhu?
What was the question, Prabhu?
The question is in Chaitanya Leela, one devotee who make a flower path for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that devotee's name?
Oh, flower path. No, I do not know. Sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Rita,
No, Prabhu.
Kishori Mata and Divanand Prabhu.
No, Prabhu. I don't know.
Okay. Now we'll get the answer from Ramchandra Priya Prabhu.
Prabhu, I can remember, but it is here stuck in the throat. Nrsimha something, Prabhu.
Yes, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari.
Nrsimha Brahmachari, yeah. He paved that path until Kanai Natsala, yeah, Prabhu? Then
Yes.
it stopped. Yeah.
Right. Mahaprabhu want to go to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu came to Gaura in Mayapur. And then Mahaprabhu want to go to Vrindavan. And there is so many devotees want to go. When he hear that Mahaprabhu going to Vrindavan, then Nrsimhananda Brahmachari, he is the worshipper of Lord Nrsimha. He sat on meditation. And by his meditation, he make a flower path from Mayapur. His target to make a path from Mayapur via Kanai Natshala to Vrindavan. Because Mahaprabhu want to go and see Kanhaiya Natshala, and then Mahaprabhu want to go Vrindavan from there. So now he make one time after Kanhai Natshala, his material is finished. He can't build anymore. He said, what's happening? Something wrong with me. Again, he takes shower, did Achman, again he sat down, and by meditation, again he made. The same things happen. Kanhai Natshala, his material is over. He said, no, something is wrong. Again he went to Ganges, take bath, do Achman. Again he come and he sit and said, no, Lord Nrsimha, this is time of third. Please help me. Again, the same things happen. The roads just only went until Kanhai Natshala. Then Nrsimhananda Brahmachari got understood the point from Lord Nrsimha, and he declared, listen, this time Mahaprabhu is not going Vrindavan. He will not go Vrindavan, he will go to Kanhai Natshala and he will come back from there. Now many devotees are thinking, let's see, is the Nrsimhananda Brahmachari is speaking truth, or he's just putting a rock on the ear? And after a few days later, they got news that Mahaprabhu actually doesn't went to Vrindavan. He went to Kanhai Natshala. He stayed a few days there, and from there he coming back here. They say, oh my God. So this Nrsimha, they knows about Nrsimhananda Brahmachari. We have many pastimes with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We're going to read that in Bhadra Leela. There is many pastimes you will get it. So that's also, see, the devotees, they always actually serve. They look the pleasures for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They don't actually serve for their own pleasures. So that's what I was thinking. I mean, as a thought, have to be connected with that. Okay. Anything else you want to add, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu, there is a nice pastime in Krishna Lila also.
Mhm.
When Lord Krishna was young, he asked Mother Yashoda that can you please make shoes for my cows as well? So Nand Baba has 900,000 cows, so each cow's 4 pairs of 4 shoes for each cows. So then mother said, no, Kana, they can. I don't remember the story exactly, but Krishna says that if you don't make shoes for my cows, I'll also walk barefoot in the forest of Vrindavan. So on hearing this, the cows, they thought that, oh, this little Krishna, his feet are so tender. If he walks with bare feet, then he'll get hurt with the pebbles and thorns and all those things. So they went and they at night, and they crashed all the stones and everything. So the soil there became like a powder, like soft, very soft. So we can still see this sand at Ramanreti. It's like so soft, that sand. So the cows have crushed those rocks and made that sand like powder like. So like in Vrindavan, the whole area is like that. So that's very soft sand of Vrindavan. So that pastime I was remembering. Yeah. For
Right,
Krishna's pleasure, the cows, they even made those land so soft.
right. Yep. For Krishna's pleasure, even cow make a road. It's a beautiful pastime. Yeah, when we go to Ramanreti, we hear this pastime every time.
That's,
And as how soft it is, we normally, whenever we go to Ramanreti, normally, we used to, used to roll it. Yeah.
yeah, that's
I remember the very first times when we went, means when I went very first times, ultimately 1996, 97, I think. 140 brahmacharis from Mayapur in Sankirtan department, along with 2 sannyasis and 4 fisher sannyasis. They are in a sannyasi on that time. They are sannyasis now, long before. So that time, we actually honor a prasadam there in Ramanreti. We drink a milk, from their cows over there. And we stay there for 3 nights. And they have a small cottages. As a brahmachari, they gave us on that time, so you can stay here. And we stay there and we, every day. And after breakfast, our timing is like a 1 hour. We listen the Krishna's pastimes with the cows. And then everyone want to take a dust and they roll. This is like in a completely different world. Yeah, that's beautiful pastime, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay. Anybody want to add anything you remembering or thinking?
Prabhuji, while doing Govardhan Parikrama, I heard this story from one of the devotee, and they mentioned me that the cows did the stamping on Govardhan hill. That's the reason Govardhan soil is so soft. I was not sure about Vrindavan, but I was thinking of, because they told me Govardhan. While Parikrama, that's the reason people go barefoot till today to experience that thing. So I was telling, oh, we don't have any more cows now, who can make this softer. So then they mentioned, oh, devotees are the cow now. The more they will do parikrama, the more the soil will get softer.
Actually, the ultimate parikrama marg was not right now, isn't it? What parikrama marg we got, that's very small. The parikrama marg was very, very long. You know that?
I know, Prabhuji, even Vrindavan has 2 parikrama marg, and Govardhan
No,
also
not on
has the 2.
that parikrama marg is Vrindavan is same. Govardhan.
Govardhan, yes, it is like 7 kilometer one, and one is like 14 kilometer, something like that. No.
Govardhan is ultimate length. Ramchandra Prabhu, did you remember the ultimate length of Govardhan?
circumambulating Govardhan completely. It's 25 kilometers, Prabhu, I think.
Ultimate.
Ultimate, I don't remember, Prabhu, but the people who does right now, they say it is around 25 kilometers, something like
So
that.
ultimately in Govardhan, it was a 36 crores, means 96 kilometers,
Oh,
the length of Govardhan.
okay.
That's the ultimate. And every day, who brought the Govardhan hill? Anybody remember? What is the Rishi's name?
Yeah, that Rishi is. Hmm.
No?
No.
Divanand Prabhu?
No problem. I don't know.
I
Thinking
cannot-
about some couple of Rishi's name. Advaita Hari Prabhu.
Is it some Muni or Rishi?
Muni.
It's not Durvasha Muni,
No, no.
but Kashyapa Muni? No, I do not know.
No.
Ramchandra Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, even I am forgetting. Memory has completely gone, Prabhu, now.
Me too. Me too. You know, I'm also forgetting that. Who is Rishis?
Yeah, I read that story, beautiful story. And Govardhan was that Vrinda. No, which mountains? He was a son of some mountain.
Yes.
Vindhyachal. Vindhyachal's son was Govardhan.
Yes.
But I forgot the Rishi name. I read that story.
I also forget. I was just, name is coming in my mind, it's not coming in my mouth. So anyway, the Rishi will find out. The Rishi is actually, you know, because when he bought the Govardhan have some condition that you cannot keep me any places. If you keep me anywhere, I will stay there. And other than that, he can carry on his hand. And it was just like light like a curtain. And it doesn't feel anything. So when he was actually crossing to Vrindavan, that time he felt, Laghu Shankha. He need to use bathroom. And holding a Govardhan, a pure rock, he cannot go for bathroom. So that time he prayed that please stay here. I will just go to bathroom. I will do Achaman. I will come back and then you have to walk with me. After when he came back.
Pulastha Muni.
Yes.
Pulatsa. That's correct.
Pulastha Muni. Okay. Then he came back and when he tried to pick, Govardhan doesn't went. And Govardhan said, I told you, if you keep me, I'm not going to go there. There is obviously the pastimes was connecting with Srimati Radharani. So there is a whole pastimes are there. So that time Pulastha Rishi was very angry. And Pulastha Rishi calls to Govardhan that every day, a size of mustard seed will go down from the earth. From that, it was getting down. And now it is actually, the actual Govardhan Parikrama Marg is 14 kilometers. 7 kilometers is a one side. Total, if you do from Radhakund and you finish in the Radhakund, it is 14 kilometers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it is actually 3 kilometers was extra because before that you used to walk down very close to Govardhan Hill. But now Vrindavan and Govardhan Development Authority, they want to protect the Govardhan Hill because people are actually, taking rock and things. So they make fences surround the Govardhan Hill. So because of the fences, almost 3 kilometers got extra land. Now the Parikrama Marg was just 17 kilometers.
Yeah, and Prabhuji, I was surprised to know some part of Govardhan comes under Rajasthan state.
Yeah, it's just a half a kilometer.
Yeah. So and Prabhuji, in one of the book I was reading, even during Krishna's time, 5,000 years back, Govardhan was huge.
Yeah.
It says that Bhagwan Surya's at noon, the horses used to come and eat on Govardhan.
Yep.
And the Govardhan could not see the separation of Radha and Krishna, and he could not bear the Radharani's condition. And that's when he himself went down. That is what I read. Even though we have the story of size of the mustard, but most of the Govardhan went inside by his own will, and he hided all the pastime places of Krishna. He just went inside because he could not see condition of Radharani. She was remembering every spot, it seems. We did this here, we did that here, and she was going into deep separation from Krishna. And her condition, she was crying and all those emotions. So Govardhan went inside by himself. That is what I read. Another story.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's come back to our verses. Verse 174. Atmashukho dukkhe gopir nahi ko vichar, Krishna shukho hetu chesta mono vyavahar. Atmashukho dukkhe gopir nahi ko vichar, Krishna shukho hetu chesta mono vyavahar. Translation. Advaita Hari Prabhu, translation, please.
The gopis do not care for their own pleasures or pains. All their physical and mental activities are directed toward offering enjoyment to Lord Krishna.
It's clear. That's the gopis, they don't care about their own pleasures. That's we just hear, or their pain. They said is like, about the hearing about the pain. We all know a nice story about the pain, how they can't, they don't care, but they care about the pain of Lord Krishna. Maybe Dibyanand Prabhu, you know that story about the Lord Krishna having a nice drama about the devotee, that who is the best devotee. And when she's like Narad Muni, he thought he is the best devotee of Lord Krishna because he stay with him. And Lord Krishna want to give him a lesson to Narad Muni, and he make it one pastime. Do you know that
I
story?
know the pastime of headache.
Yes, that's the pastime is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Krishna
in
has a
that
headache.
because.
And he said, if we can get the dust of the lotus feet of devotees, then I'll be fine. But then they all went. I think Narad Muni went to a lot of devotees to ask for the dust of their lotus feet, but everyone said no. But when he went to the gopis, and gopis immediately agreed to give the dust of their lotus feet, so that it can cure the headache of Krishna, because they were thinking of the pleasure of Krishna. They were not thinking of their own pleasure or anything. They were not worried about getting all the sins and everything for doing that, but they were only concerned about the love of Krishna or making sure that Krishna is fine.
Right. Even is Narad Muni actually, making them aware, you are giving your dust from your feet. How many lifetime you're going to go to the hell? How much pain you will get? You guys don't know. You guys are not a learner. You guys are not a philosopher. You don't know the philosophy. You're talking about Krishna, and you guys want to give your lotus dust? Gopi just chastising to Narada. Why you are wasting your time? It is matter of us. We'll stay 100 lifetime in hell. We don't care. But we cannot, suffer a single second that my Lord, he will suffer. Don't worry about us. We'll go to hell. We don't have any problem. But please take this dust and take to Lord Krishna in Dwarika. And see, when Lord Krishna asking, oh Narada, you always blame yourself that you are the best devotee, you are the pure devotee. And there is no one devotee is like bigger devotee than you. So you are my devotee also. So why you didn't give your lotus dust? Why you take that long time? You went to Himalayas, went to Rishis, and in here and there, all the demigods also you went. So why you didn't give your lotus dust? Then he proved, So ultimately, the gopis is the ultimate devotee. They never think about themselves. They always think about me. So that's the pain. Pastimes are mentioning. That's actually Krishna Priti. Krishna lage ar sab kare paritag. Krishna sukho hetu kare shuddho anurag. Translation, Adibanand Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhuji. They renounced everything for Krishna. They have pure attachment to giving Krishna pleasure.
So that's why they don't care about their bodily anything. They give up everything. Whatever they do, even they serve their husband, they serve their kids. On that meditation, that they are actually a Krishna's people. On that meditation, they serve them. As we read, Srila Prabhupada gave us that purport, talking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say. Let's go to next verse. Our time almost getting end.
Prabhu, quick question on this.
Yeah.
So, in general, these are all very good from the perspective of devotees. But from the mundane people, basically, when they see gopis doing all those kind of stuff, and then, leaving the family and everything and going beyond the social norms, people who are not devotees, they actually ask so many questions, and basically sometimes, they even go away from Krishna's hearing all these pastimes, basically. So what is the best way to express this or explain this relationship that gopis, the special relationship gopis and Radha had with Krishna? How to make them understand this?
I think 3 classes before we did discuss on that about who are the gopis are and who are the Radharanis are, how the gopis are, appear in Vrindavan and where they come from. We got the message that gopis is ultimately a prakash of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani is a prakash of Lord Krishna himself. The gopis are not a normally omen, a normal omens in this material world. The gopis are the part and parcels of Krishna. This is coming from Krishna itself. So Krishna doing this pastime with himself only. And also the another thing is, this love, this gopis pastime should not be described in front of those kind of personalities who really don't have the understanding about the position of the gopis, devotees, Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So for them, we have the different literatures. For the big, that's why I say in the beginners, we have a literatures for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody knows by now. Everybody in the world knows by now Krishna's pastimes. They actually focus on Krishna's pastimes on Rash Leela and Gopis and Vrindavan. They know everything about it, basically.
They knows wrongly, no? Because
Yes.
they want to do self-enjoyment. And they
Yes.
want to keep the Krishna Leela in the center and said, okay, see the Krishna he did. What wrong with us?
Yeah, exactly. so they completely misinterpret it and then try to create problem for everybody.
Yeah. So, normally I used to, when the people come and they want to, ultimately they don't want to know about the philosophy. They ultimately want to prove that they are right. So I give them one very normal logic. I said, forget about Krishna. Thinking about the Krishna's devotee Lord Shiva. He drink a poisons. Drink a poisons, and that's why he got the name of Nilakantha. So if you want to do that, I'm going to give you a little bit of poisons. Could you please drink that? If you stay in life, you can do whatever Lord Krishna did, you can do same thing. Because you have that power. So Krishna, drink a poisons. He drank a poisons, and that's why he got the name of Nilakantha. So if you want to do that, I'm going to give you a little bit of poisons. Could you please drink that? If you stay in life, you can do whatever Lord Krishna did, you can do same thing. Because you have that power. they normally quiet.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a nice example about that also. You might be see that movie of Abhay Charan. Where is it? There is a bogus sadhu, Bishkinshan, who was, manifested himself in front of the Mundan people that he is the God. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur challenged him that Krishna hold Govardhan hill in a one finger is 7 days. You are the Kali Yuga's God. I'm not giving you the hill. I'll give you one chair, a wooden chair. Could you hold not a 7 days? Just hold for an hour. Forget it. Just hold for a 7 minutes. Can you do that? Then what
I'll
kind
do,
of God you
Baba.
are? So those kind of things, we can always give example. Because they don't want to listen the proper meanings. They only want to try to argument with you,
Yes, yes.
and they want to take time from you. So yeah, just give straightforward answer and said, okay, you show me in front of me. Then we will, even we will going to worship you as a Krishna. Then you can do whatever Krishna did, you can do same. Don't worry.
And also, Prabhuji, a couple of weeks back in one of the class, we read Parkiya Bhava. We read that Parkiya Bhava is how should and how much accepted in a spiritual world, but it's not because we have perverted image of spiritual world. But Parkiya Bhava is very much respected in spiritual world, but not in material world. And as you said, I would say, did you see the Ras Leela picture? So Krishna is with every gopi. Can you be with at least 2 or 3? Can you multiply yourself? If you can, then yes. But don't compare with Bhagwan Krishna. So yeah, basically, as you said, Prabhuji, on a white cloth, we try to see we are so polluted in our mind, we just see that stain. And for Krishna, Bhagwan Krishna also, unfortunately, mundane people like me, he's Bhagwan, but we did not understand anything, and we focus with our own mind on something, which is very wrong. Yeah, unfortunate, but it's a reality.
Yeah. Okay, now this is the last verse we will do today. Krishna returned in a Rasa dance, and he talking to gopis. Okay, Rachana Mata, read this verse.
Prabhuji,
176.
176. Okay. Evam mat artha ujjit lokaveda swanam hivo mai anuvartaye balaha abalaha maya parosham bhajata tirohitam masu yitum marhatha tatparyam priyaha.
Thank you. Translation, Ramchandra Prabhu.
O my beloved gopis, you have renounced social customs, scriptural injunctions, and your relatives for my sake. I disappeared behind you only to increase your concentration upon me. Since I disappeared for your benefit, you should not be displeased with me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This text from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.32.21 was spoken by Lord Krishna when he returned to the arena of the Rasa Leela.
Okay. Prabhu, give some explanation.
Here Lord Krishna is saying that he knew everything about gopis, that they like renounced the social customs, scriptural injunction, even their relatives, only for the sake of Krishna. So he wanted to increase their emotions, their loving sentiments for Krishna. That's why he disappeared from that arena. So after saying this, he said that you be pleased with your service to me. I can't repay that. I can't repay the love that you have for me. I can't give you anything in back to you. I'm totally purchased by your love for me. So I can't repay you, but you be happy by your service. That's what Krishna says.
Yep.
प्रभु जी,
जैसे-
यहाँ पर मुझे ना विप्रलंभ भाव दिखता है,
Vipralambha Bhav, right?
क्योंकि हिंदी में लिखा है एकाग्रता, focused,
Right.
and you concentrate when on a person when he gets separated. It's natural. So I think that's what Krishna wanted to do here.
Yeah. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and the next verse he was mentioning, because they're talking about the gopis and Krishna, the discussion together. So the last verse we will do 177. Krishna প্রতিজ্ঞায় আছে পূর্ব হইতে যে জইছে ভজে কৃষ্ণ তারে ভজে তৈছে। কৃষ্ণের প্রতিজ্ঞা এক আছে পূর্ব হইতে যে জইছে ভজে কৃষ্ণ তারে ভজে তৈছে। It's a beautiful verse, beautiful verse. I think this is the coding verse. You can keep it on your mind always. Translation, Kishori Mata, please.
Sure, Prabhuji. Translation 177. Lord Krishna has a promise from before to reciprocate with his devotees according to the way they worship him.
Okay. So you got it? That's he did the promise. And we all know Krishna always keep his promise. He don't break down his promise. Because he is the Shruhidam Sarvabhutanam. So he don't break any promise. So that's why we will hear about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this first time continuously, and the Gopikas and Radharani's Prem. We didn't get yet the third Lakshans. We are getting that third Lakshans, because we are getting the third Lakshan is a Prema. That Prema's definitions we are getting. So we're going to get more of it. Next, I think 9 or 10 verses. Okay. So any comments or any questions, if anyone have? We have 1 more minute, and then we'll be ending.
This is in Bhagavad Gita, right, Prabhuji? Yo yathamam prapaddante.
Yeah. Tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham. Bhagavad Gita. That's so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, bring always his supporting verse. So then one can say this person is bogus. Yeah.
It is just wonderful that at the age of 90 he's writing this book. It is unbelievable that one can write this book citing slokas from all the different scriptures, all the important Vaishnava scriptures, and then adding the lifetime or timeline of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unless he has been directly benedicted by Krishna, he would not have done that. Basically,
Right.
We cannot even imagine how much debt we have for him.
Yeah, that's why he used to say, no, mama mukhe bhakta Sri Chaitanya.
Yes.
The mouth is mine, but I am not talking.
Yes. Sometimes we do not appreciate Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. I must say, obviously we do, but not enough.
Yep. And if you know the Bengali, could you just think about his word, meaning how he presenting the word in a line as a poem. This is like unbelievable.
Yes.
আমরা যাকে বলি না শব্দ চয়ন,
Mm-hmm.
how pure words he used.
Yes.
Right, Ramchandra Priya Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Absolutely. Yeah. So wonderful.
प्रभु जी, आप बंगाल से हो? रामचंद्र प्रभु जी।
हाँ माता जी, मैं बंगाल से हूँ माता जी। मैं मायापुर से 65 किलोमीटर साउथ वेस्ट में बर्धमान करके है शहर का नाम, वहां से हूँ।
ओह, नाइस।
लेकिन माता जी, मुझे, मैं जब बोलता हूँ ना तो मेरी बोली सुन के सब लोग कंफ्यूज होते हैं। मैं हिंदी भी बोलता हूँ, गुजराती भी बोलता हूँ, बंगाली भी बोलता हूँ, अफ्रीकन